Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green, and a stunning turn of events. It's raining in England. I'm the manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, coming off a tough loss. No other way to say it. It was brutal. We played awful, and we embarrassed ourselves. And afterwards, I was starting to scream at the team when Ball John Green and other John Green both went absolutely nuts, particularly at our defenders. And then that Zamora was screaming back at him. And in some ways, it was bad because you never like to see fights. In the locker room, they never got physical or anything. But Ball John Green and other John Green, they've had good seasons but tough seasons. They haven't been connecting as well as they usually do. And I really felt it that day because they were kind of sniping at each other, and that Zamora and Osea, the two Brazilian center backs, felt like they had been really hard done by my management. And as you can see right there, we're tied on points with Barnsley, ahead only on goal difference. That's all that's standing between second and third. Second is an automatic promotion spot. Third isn't. So anyway, I was discouraged by the fight because you don't like to see guys screaming at each other, and I didn't know what to do as a manager. In the end, I just kind of let them talk to each other. But I was encouraged by it in the sense that there's clearly a lot of passion. You don't have to worry about whether these guys want to win the game. You don't have to worry about whether they care. They care. They care a lot. This matters to them. They desperately want to win, and they know. Look, it's really hard because we are exhausted. We're not, because we played in Europe. We've traveled to Rome, and we've been playing 2 games a week, and a lot of games we have an unusually thin squad. Even for League One, we have a thin squad. So I think that's got to have a lot to do with our difficulties. And the truth is, it's going to be a hard. What I said to them finally was listen, guys. This is the end of the season is going to be challenging. That's just a fact. Get it? Less more? Oh, golly gee. I'm mad. Yeah, I think the end of the season was always going to be hard for a club. Get there. Oh, Ball John Green, he wanted it so bad. Ball John Green? No. Disappointment. There's Yabamba, doesn't get to the ball, lets it scoot out of bounds. It was always going to be difficult for us. We were always going to kind of need a few points, a few extra points going into the end of the season if we were going to be playing on world-class skill level. And I knew that because, teams, the teams that don't play in Europe, that don't have deep cup runs, that don't win the John Stones Paint Trophy, they're more rested. They have more time and energy and everything. And I knew we were going to be in for it. Now we are. By the way, how'd the movie do? Because I'm from the past, but you're from the future. In your world, the movie has come out, and it has either done well or poorly. I hope it did okay. The Tom Cruise movie came out that weekend too, so I don't think it came in first, but hopefully it came in a nice, solid, happy second, huh? Maybe? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know how it did. Now I'm very nervous thinking about this future in which the movie has happened. I was supposed to talk about fashion today, and I will get there, but maybe not till the second half. So the last thing I want to say about the Wimbly-Wombly situation is that Yabamba has emerged as a real leader in the clubhouse, particularly with the young guys. He has really taken them under his wing. He's had an interesting life. He's a first-generation citizen of the UK. Whose family immigrated from Western Africa, and he is a really, really smart, interesting guy, and he also does not take any crap, and I think that the young players really respect that. I think that they kind of look to him as someone who is honest with them and says, you have potential, you are very good at this game, but this game doesn't care about potential, it cares about results. And I've really come to admire him, and he was finally the one who kind of got between the Brazilians and Ball John Green and other John Green and said, we're gonna fight for this as a club, and this isn't going to be easy. It was never going to be easy. We were in League 2 last year, and 3 years before that we weren't in the Football League, and 9 years before that we didn't exist. You know, like we were just being formed. So let's be patient. You know, let's be patient with ourselves and with each other, and let's go out there, you know, loving each other instead of angry at each other. And I thought that was the exact right tone to take. And I took him aside afterwards. I said that I admired him a lot and that I was going to give him a raise because I think he needs a new contract. So I've just tried to sign him to a new contract. I don't know how he's going to respond yet, but hopefully he'll be happy. So I give him a big raise, tripled his salary. So yeah, someone asked me to talk about fashion. You know, and you know me, I got a fantastic sense of fashion. I don't think there's anybody in the world who's going to question me when it comes to the big issues like my fashion sense. Oh my God, we're really struggling. It's like our players have lead feet, which probably they do because you can see they're, yeah. I mean, Kaz is exhausted already. It's the first half. It was mostly they wanted me to talk about my fashion faux pas. So I've had, you know, like I've had a number of occasions recently where I've had to wear like a suit or whatever, and I only owned one suit until very recently. I think I told this story before in a Wombly video, haven't I, Meredith, about my one suit? So somebody posted a Tumblr post that showed me on like every TV show or event that I went to, and that I was always wearing the same suit, and they called it like poor John. Like this the tagline was like poor John Green suit. It's been so overused, and it was like you could slowly see the suit become kind of less and less new over the year, and. A publicist at Penguin who works with me, Elise Marshall, who's just an amazing person, sent me that post, and she was like, you really need a new suit. So I went and I bought a couple new suits. But even so, I'm still just a terribly unfashionable person. I once did a pretty big speech I have a really bad habit of not buttoning my shirts the right way, making, you know, like buttoning. For those of you who don't wear a lot of button-down shirts, you can mess up the buttons so that you know, like they're off sync or whatever. And when that happens, when the buttons get off sync, God, we are really struggling here. When the buttons get off sync, it's very bad. It's very, very bad because the collar it just doesn't line up right. I once gave a speech to 1,200 people with the buttons unsynced, and then of course there was the moment. Classic moment in my life where I was giving a speech to a bunch of high school students in maybe 2008. It was one of those situations early in the kind of nerdfighter, the nerdfighter community. I would go speak at schools, and two people would be incredibly excited because they were nerdfighters, and they would be so excited that I had come to their school. And 798 people would be like, "Who the hell is this noodle, this grapefruit, this?" Schmerg. And it was great to talk to those two nerd fighters, but then the other people, I'm not very good at talking to people, like convincing them to like me. I sucked at it in middle school and I suck at it now. So it would just be brutal. I'm going to make some substitutions because our team is flat-legged, especially in the midfield, and we've got to try to win this game because we're good enough to win it. Kaz, it's heroic. It's heroic that you stayed out there as long as you did, but you don't get to play anymore. Now it's Hell's Pell's turn. B. Arthur, you are also coming along for the ride. I'm just going to start calling him B. Arthur. Do you think that's okay, Meredith? Meredith loves it. I love it, too. Meredith and I are once again on the same page. She's such a great assistant coach. All right, 3 substitutions at one time, just like the pros do it in the 56th minute. Oh, well, it was a nice run for all 3 of you, but you don't get to play anymore. We're bringing on new people. Anyway, I gave a speech to like 800 students in San Francisco. And they were really into it. It was so much better than my usual speeches where the 798 people would stare blankly at me. They were constantly giggling and laughing, and they just seemed to be having a great time. And like every time I made even the smallest joke, they would all burst out laughing, and I was just so pleased with myself. And then I spoke for like 30 minutes, and then it was time for questions. So I said, are there any questions? And fully 800 hands rose at once. And I was like, I knew it, man. I knew it. I'm so good at this job. And I was really, pass, just Paul, anything but that. I was so pleased with myself, and I called on someone, and they said, Meredith, you know what they said? They said, John, Mr. Green, do you know that your fly is down? But it wasn't down. I feel like that's an inaccurate description of what it was. It wasn't down. It was open. It was open. It was out. My fly was like, it was wide. It was a gaping chasm of openness. Like you could see everything about my underwear. It was just an amazingly open fly. An impossibly. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Oh, are you kidding me? Hell's Pels. You're better than that. Here comes on Grimes. All right, it's B. Arthur with a great opportunity. She's an elderly lady. No. That was a terrible idea for a shot, but is it going to work out? Oh, yeah. I started way too high, way too high, way too high. I can do better than that. Yeah, bomba. Yeah, bomba. Just scored a goal, just scored a goal, just scored a goal. Yeah, bomba. Yeah, bomba. Yeah, bomba. It's a beautiful goal from a beautiful man. I was just talking about how he's the newest kind of de facto leader of our club. Obviously, the John Greens are the John Greens, and they always will be. But, Yabamba has just emerged as the kind of guy you want in the clubhouse. Like, he's not – the funny thing is, he's a 56 skill level. Like, he's our worst player who plays regularly. But he's also our best player who plays regularly other than the John Greens. So I'm just blown away by him. He's all courage. He's all heart. He captures everything I love about the Wimbly Womblys, and he bleeds Wimbly Wombly blue, and that's really important. Yeah, I've had some fashion faux pas over the years. A lot of, wrongly buttoned shirts. My best fashion faux pas, though, came in 3rd grade, I think, when I wore a matching OP. You remember OP, the brand? Probably you don't, because you were born after they became defunct. Unless they're still a thing, which would be great. Anyway, I wore this. It was neon blue and white stripes, and then the white stripes had kind of a neon yellow squiggle running through them. And I was in 3rd grade, and I knew I was going to ask Jennifer Keane to be my girlfriend that day. So I wore my very best matching OP outfit. And it turns out that, my matching OP outfit, which was not inexpensive at JCPenney and was, my big one outfit that I got each year for the start of school, it turns out that it wasn't cool. It was actually super nerdy, and lots of people made fun of me about it, and because it was the first time I'd worn it because it was such a special, important day. And then I'd lost all my confidence by the time when it came time to execute my plan to ask Jennifer Keane to be my girlfriend. But she still said yes. She still said yes. She dumped me later, but she said yes initially. That's right. It was so sweet. I remember walking with her in the Triangle in school. It's one of my very first truly narrative memories. And asking if she had a boyfriend, as you do when you're talking to an 8-year-old. And she said no, and, I made my big move, and she said yes. And it's pretty magical, pretty wonderful. Lasted for about a week. Unlike the memory of this victory, which will last for all time. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. 1-0 up over AFC Wimbledon. Nope, we are AFC Wimbledon. Over Bury. We buried Barry. I wonder if that pun has ever been made before in the history of their football club. Thank you for watching. Best wishes.